Hello, hello everybody. It's it's a little bit bright, isn't it? It's a bit bright. Let's try to fix that. That's the other way around. I hate these things. I hate blinds. There we go. It's a little bit. That's a little bit better, right? Gosh, I need better lighting in this room. Not this light, but lighting in the room. Regardless. Da 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 da. There's something I wanted to change. Can I edit it on my phone? No, can't do that there. Can I? Well, I can. I could probably do this. Give me a moment. I wanted to change it because this sucks. Not sucks. This is bad. Not what I. Come on. The recent one. This one. Yes, let's edit that one. Yes, please change. Just make sure. Yeah. Okay, so this one I want to change. The thumbnail is not the right thumbnail. Select, save, saving changes. So if you reload the page and then click on it, you'll eventually see that it is what I have changed it to. There. Because the computer here, this computer, wants to be so stubborn about the size or whatever about it. But here on my phone, it's just perfect. So yeah, the laptop, no. My cell phone, yeah, it works. Changing the size of the font of the sounds good. So if you're here now, you're going to see the big change to the thumbnail with the True Moo Blue Milk. If it gets copyright claimed because of that, I don't see how. Not being sponsored. I just want to try out True Moo Blue Milk. I want to see if it tastes good or bad. The last time, to be honest, last time I had anything True Moo, when I was younger, so this was probably just there. I'll fix it later. There, it's out of the way. Well, now it's on the right side. I wanted it to be, well, whatever. Anyways, when I was younger, I would have chocolate True Moo milk, right? Maybe bringing y'all a bit closer works. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. I would need some sort of like covers or something to cover that up. Or I don't know. What do you call it? I forgot what they're called. Fabric things that cover up the blinds. Not blinds. Curtains. I need some curtains. Some sort of curtain to go up there. But I don't have any at the moment. There's also supposed to be like a curtain guardrail, so then it's gone or whatever. Anyways, where was I? So when I was a kid, right, I had chocolate milk, True Moo chocolate milk. I remember that it was not as good, or no, correction, it might have tasted good, but then it made us sick, or at least something like that. But I'll give it a benefit of the doubt that it's probably the living conditions I was at the time. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. The diets have changed and whatnot. Yum. Oh, the sandwich so far, yeah. But True Moo, blue milk, pinkies out. Let's try it. Now, before I try it, I do want to say that yes, we will be reading the Artificer while drinking blue milk. I wanted to do this. So here we go. That's an interesting taste. I like it. There. That honest opinion. I like it. If it tastes terrible, I would still I would still say something like, "Oh no, tastes bad." I would have said tastes bad or something like that. But no, I'm actually genuinely surprised. It actually tastes good. It doesn't taste any different. Just it tastes like oat milk. I'm sorry. I feel like there's just not enough light in this room. Or at least I can't see myself. Well, I can see myself in the camera, but like when I do this, all of a sudden the shadow here just darkens. But I can see myself perfectly fine. So it's that. Again, it's probably the bright light coming from the windows. I don't know how to fix that. More light, maybe, or white light. Probably no. That probably make things worse. Again, I need some sort of curtains. I need some curtains for this right here, so it will work a lot better, I guess. But this is fine. As long this it's not stopping me from talking to y'all, sitting here on the couch. Oh. I dropped something. I dropped my co-host. I'll fix him up here in a second. There. He did not want to stay standing. There we go. Probably because he's also dead. But yeah, here. Let me remove him. It's a disaster over here. Everything is going so well, and then now everything is a disaster. All right, come on. There we go. Here's our co-host, Dead Drip Prime. You can see him, can't you? Before, I'm going to move him right here again. Okay. Don't want him too close to me because I might knock him over. There we go. He's right here. There we go. Okay, come on. Now everything's falling apart. There we go. Okay, this is weird. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. In case someone who just arrived here, by the looks of it, someone just arrived here. True Moon milk. I will give it another sip. It actually tastes good. It's a blue milk, right? It actually tastes good. So yeah, in case if you're wondering, yeah, it tastes great. I try new things so that you don't have to. It's probably going to give me like stomach problems later on the day. Who knows? I'll tell you that in the next live stream. Or if I still start feeling stomach issues and digestive issues later on, whatever. If I die, then you'll never see me again. But now, for the Artificer, we did not finish chapter 2 last time. But we'll finish chapter 2 this time. And then we'll go on to chapter 3. Which means I'm going to have to edit the thumbnail yet again. Where was I? Let's start over here on the bottom page over here. And then continue reading on the next page. But, you know. Oh, I almost forgot something. I need not the share screen. This one. Okay, they changed things around. It's a little different than the way I like it. Anyways, you can comment down below if you actually like True Moon's blue milk. Or if you tried some yourself. And if you have, please comment down below or type in the chat if you like the True Moon blue milk. I think it's decent. Again, it just tastes like blue. Well, not blue. You can't taste blue. But it tastes like, well, oat milk, but what's the term? It tastes like oat milk, and for the blue part, it's obviously just dyed milk. But I do get this feeling, or the sense of this feeling that, like, you know how Pop-Tarts has artificial flavoring, right? I get this flavor of like maybe blueberry or something. I don't know. I did not read the side of the package, so please forgive me. I'm about to read here in just a minute, so give me a moment. Sorry, reading something on the side here. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. That's done. Now, ooh, on onto the show, or onto reading. Almara was unremarkable, at least compared to Mersin, with much of the same construction and building design shared between the two. However, its saving grace was the border of a generously sized lake where most of the village's food was fished from. The cold mountain streams that fed it would later lead them out of Almara and serve them as the guide up into the cliffs. Merchant and Almara had been pleasant enough diversions from the norm, but arriving at Basal was an experience. A lack of wealth and indifference to travel had kept Kraft from leaving Tomaloda over the last few months, and upon witnessing the dwarven city, he immediately regretted not pursuing a life of travel. Oh, excuse me. The city spanned maybe 5 miles of hollowed mountain, yet it felt like it went on forever with how densely it was packed. Row after row of chiseled houses and buildings of all makes and sizes, diversified by their very geometric bases, expanded out from the walls towards the center of the cavern. Towers chipped out of stalagmites. Stalagmites rose to tips. Oh, the touching tips. Sorry. With dangling stalactites, stalactite, stella, fudge, stalactite, stalactite. I hate this. My brain's not functioning with. There's stalagmites, stalactites, stalactite cottages. I can't pronounce words for crap. Polished to a brassy sheen that glowed in the sunlight streaming through the grandiose holes. See, I grandiose I can pronounce. Like everything else, no. Holes in the mountainside. Glowing gem sconces and lanterns pocketed the streets, just like the myriad caves that fed into the kingdom's capital. Just seeing the sea of glittering lights, the well-worn hovels, the sandy roads, and the throngs of people made Kraft realize how much of Etjon he had yet to discover and unpack. Quite the sight, isn't it? Quite the sight, ain't she? Nerf asked, pushing their horses forward. You know, Nerf is just going to be, um, for now on in my head, he's going to be, um, What's that talking head in God of War Norse duology? Mimir. Mm. Mimir. Get your butt over here, Mimir. Yeah, it's gonna be Mimir. That's the voice we're now going for him from now on. Excuse me. Yeah, are all the dwarven cities like this? Not all, but most take pride in the presentation. Quite the reputation for architecture to uphold, the dwarf replied. My whole time so gleaming. People there are much too worried about traveling and trading to focus on homes they'll be staying in one only fraction of the time, brother. Nah, much more practical than some of these ornate ones. The cart jolted forward as Nerv cracked the reins, and Kraft was brought back to reality. Snap back to reality. Oh, no, yes, gravity. Those are the only lines I remember from anything in it. Ornate ones. Back to reality. He found it hard over the next few days to keep his head on straight. Marveling at some statue or building that seemed almost impossible to exist were it not for the skilled work of the dwarven craftsmen. It was awing in the purest sense. Even the food was foreign. Broiled mushrooms that tasted like salmon, breads peppered by salts mined from the caverns, and a mead unique to the city that was made from the honey of stone wasp and served warm to offset the cave's chilly air. Kraft actually bought an embarrassing number of mead bottles and made note to send out for more if he had spared the change in the future. Futures! But Kraft was there for a reason. He wanted to see that through. After searching the large mining firms for sellers, he settled on a smaller one that had been struggling to stay afloat. While this resulted in probably paying more than he needed to, he managed to negotiate a steady trade of a variety of metals he needed over the next few months, as well as saltpeter and sulfur that he needed for a personal project. Why am I stuck with this accent? Would you like some saltpeter? And some saltpeter and sulfur and peter. Saltpeter. Oh god. Then he needed for a personal project. I'm stuck in the thing. If things went well, he'd be able to maintain this supply line. Both business, blah, 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 blah. Both businesses would boom from it. He even got to take much of the raw material he paid for home himself, with reduced cost thanks to providing his own transport. He also took some time to shop around his businesses, doing small repairs overnight and turning them over the next day for a bit of extra trading. Hopefully, it would spread word of his good and bring in a few foreign patrons. Newly inspired to travel the world to discover what new fantasies there were to see, he was eager to plan a retirement fund of sorts. With his work done, he and Nierf took their leave of Basel, eager to head home and play with the new material at his disposal. Things were feeling good. I feel good. Too good. They were crossing from the mountain territories down to the forest that overlooked the dense temperate jungles to the southeast, when stumbled upon another set of travelers, or perhaps former travelers were more accurate. Several chunks of flesh had been ripped from the bodies. Okay. Several chunks of flesh had been ripped from their bodies. Their carriage spilled over and goods scattered. Pockets of metalled wood, flesh, and dirt littered the ground, all leading to the partially dissolved corpses being picked clean by a pack of bulky black shapes the size of full-grown men. Okay. Dead Prime, how are you feeling about this? Very, very, very dark? Yeah, well, not too dark. No, I wouldn't agree with that. It's more like, oh, this could be bad if you encounter this creature. Kind of bad. Scales gleaming a deep jeweled purple in the light. The beast had long necks that coiled, and they bounced as their alligator-like snouts dove into the pick at the flesh below. Ugh. Is it this creature? Probably onto something. I don't know how to. There we go. Is it this creature? It's probably that creature. Either that or some other creature that's not been creatured. I'm gonna take a bite out of my sandwich here. I almost knocked them over. Mmm. Mmm. Over. Hold on. No. There we go. Everything's fine, right? Okay. My arms. Oh. I don't like this couch. Again, I'm still looking for a new little comfort zone at the moment. A new area to like stream and whatnot, but I do not like this couch. Great sandwich too. Wash it down with blue milk. No, I'm not sponsored. I am not sponsored by this. This is totally just a me thing. Wow. Okay. It's an interesting thing. Scales gleaming a deep jeweled purple in the light. The bees had long necks that coiled. They bounced as their alligator-like snouts dove in to pick at the flesh below. Long wisp-like tails adorned their rears. Yep, okay. It is this creature. Matched only by the set of gangly legs with three-pronged claws. Shielding all of this were a pair of wings, folded neatly into the thick mass of webbing, bone, and cartilage at their sides. Cautious, Nefer slowed the wagon to a crawl, and a couple 100 feet away. Black wives. Wives? Why would you call them wives? Black wives. Nif. Wives. Black wives? Wives? Is the Y making an I sound? Or what? Like a what? Wives? Or wives? Wives? Not Nif. Nif. With a whiz? Is it making a wi or a I? So I'm not certain. Nerf, whiz. I'm gonna go with whiz. Black whiz. That's my best guess. Black. I want to say wives, but if Nerf or knife, Narf, Narf, fudge, man. I'm gonna call him Nerf, right? So whiz, black whiz. That sounds like a creature. A whiz, a whiz, a whiz, a whiz, a whiz, a whiz, weave, wife, black wives. No, black. I hate this is torture. This is torture. Black whivs. Let's go with whivs, okay? Black whivs, Nerf. Black whivs, Nerf muttered. That's the only route down to Alamara that'll take a wagon. He reached to his belt, drawing his short sword as quietly as possible. Kraft mirrored him and cocked an arrow back on his bow, feeling the latch trigger locked into place. Damned his lack of foresight, else he had squeezed in more practice with the bow. He prayed he could give his arrows serviceable enough aim. think we can outrun them? Might. They travel fast, but best I can see. Otherwise, is we hop off here and give them a reason not to follow when then we hop back on. He grimaced, his fingers dancing along the bow shaft. Then, with a glance at their supplies, he had an idea. Climbing into the back of the wagon and flexing his arm, he spoke. Nerf, on my single, barrel past them. Nerf gave a glance back at his sheathed sword, wincing as green flashed in Kraft's hand. That's a pineapple. Don't see many of those around. Black. I don't know who's speaking this point. That's a pineapple. Don't see many of those around. Black wives like pineapple or something. Waves. Black waves. Black wibs. Well, wibs or something. I don't know. Not wives. Black wibs. Unless they are wives, like wives, wyverns. Help! I don't know how the. I don't think Google has a fictional pronunciation for this. This is a fictional creature, right? I'm struggling here. Maybe it's the blue milk. I'll do that. I'll blame the blue milk. This is not my fault. It's the blue milk's fault. It's probably his fault too. Anyways. That's a pineapple. Don't see many of those around. Black wives. Oh, wives. Black wives with like pineapple or something? Kraft lifted the palm-sized device and hooked his index finger around the smooth pin sticking out from the side. Nope. Now kick it. We want to clear as much distance as we can. Seem to know what you're doing, Neff struggled, shaking the reins. The horses jolted forward, and after a moment of waiting, Kraft pulled a pin. Yeah, also, you want to cover your ears in a few seconds here, he shouted just as the horses neared the reptiles? Reptiles was the best words he had. Several heads cocked their way, the silt pupils burning into the cart, riders and all. Shrieks of alarm erupted from the pack, mixed in with a guttural hiss, and rumbled up their sinewy throats. I'm holding the bloody reins! How do you expect me to... The cart passed the congregation of now flaying wyverns. Wyverns! I noticed it. Who's using slang? Gosh! He was using slang, and I didn't notice that. I'll be right back. I need a moment, guys. Okay, I need a moment. All right, I'm back. Okay. Had to comb my hair and everything. Give me a moment. Wyverns, wives. Wyverns. The cart passed a congregation of now flying wyverns. I feel like you could have said that first. Like you could have said like black wyverns, or what I like to call them, black wives. Unfortunately, that's the only, and then say, unfortunately, that's the only route down to Alamara to take the wagon. That line, I feel like it could have at least indicated how to pronounce it, because I feel like the writer is going to, the writer assumed that people who play a lot of RPG games with a lot of fantasy RPG games with a lot of like wyverns, dragons, and whatnot. Oh my! And trolls, and dwarves. I probably assumed that people would know what a wife or a wyvern. That a wife is short for wyvern. But and they'd have every right to know, but I'm just embarrassed. That's all. There, I'm just talking out of embarrassment. Wives, wyverns, wives, wives, or why do you call them wives? That sounds like, oh, I'm gonna kill this wife over here. This wife, or I don't know. I don't know context. It sounds like, it sounds terrible. I'm gonna beat my wife. I'm gonna beat all these wives. I'm gonna beat all these wives. See, no one says that for specific. I'm gonna kill this wife. Oh, it's a group of wives. Damn it. Do you see the problem? Is it just me? Does anyone see the problem there? I know, I'm probably shouting out to the void, and no one sees the problem. But like wyvern, why would you nickname it wife? It sounds so close to wife. Wife, done this. Yeah, it sounds. It also sounds slang for wife, or something. I'm not slang. It sounds like you're fumbling on the word "I," and not wife. I don't. I don't understand. Anyways, the cart passed a congregation of now flailing wyverns, wives, wyverns, wives. Just do it! Kraft shouted, flicking up the pineapple handle and tossing it into the heart of the pack. Kraft ducked his head and held his ears, catching one of the glimpses of the wyverns unfurling wings 4 times the lengths of their bodies and flopping to a low hover. It wasn't enough time for them. An explosion rocked An explosion rocked out from Kraft's grenade, shrapnel, and fire bursting out of the metal case in a blanket of death. One wyvern was caught in the heart of the blast and lost its leg. Oh no. Though the others weren't spared any less horrific of an injury. One face became horribly scarred, and another had its tail serrated about halfway down its length. But, most importantly, the blast had injured all of their wings, tearing the soft membrane like paper and making it difficult for any of the bear-sized creatures to lift off the ground. That's horrible. The horse galloped faster, spurred onward by the sound and shaking ground below them. What the songs of spavers? What was that? Did you just cast a spell? Kraft uncurled, fingers still shaking. The grenade had worked. Holy crap. The grenade had worked. No! He breathed, collapsing against the sack of material. Not a spell. A bomb. You all right? Shaken to the spine, but I'll do better than worse come. Excuse me. Shaken to the spine, but I'll do better than worse come the next few hours. Good, Kraft said, his voice crackling. He smiled. Let's go home. Through the dicey snare. Well, we're going to pause right there. I'm going to finish eating my sandwich. That might be problematic. Kraft just crafted a bomb. I think that's a wise idea. But you did save the day, so. Interesting. It tastes great. But I'm starting to have a problem with this. Or at least some sort of problem. It doesn't settle. Or at least from what my current experience is currently. It tastes good, and it's probably because I already had some oat milk prior. And it was at one of those little areas where like they set up like a mini shop, and they give you out free samples. Sorry, a little sample stand, and they gave us a little sample of oat milk and cookies. Literally, the sample was like mint mint chocolate cookies, but it's like primarily chocolate with a hint taste of they're fudge cookies or something. I forgot what they were called, but they're like Elmer's cookies. Anyways, I didn't take a picture or anything like that. But wow. So I wish I had found like a smaller bottle or smaller like I wish I had like found like a smaller bottle of like True New milk, not a half not a half jug. Because now who's going to drink the True the True New blue milk? Probably a few other people other than me. It does feel like one of those drink in small glasses, share with a lot of friends, and if you do like it, drink as much as you can. I'm kind of glad it did came in a half jug and not a full jug. Otherwise, getting rid of it would be rather difficult to do. I would say, because like it's not terrible. It does taste good, but like it doesn't exactly sit in my stomach as well. I don't know how to explain it. Like it tastes good. It doesn't like I'm not sick. I'm not like, oh no, my stomach. Bah! No, but like it feels like don't drink it on a hot summer day kind of drink. Definitely don't do that. It feels like definitely I wouldn't recommend this drinking during the summertime or springtime. Probably springtime. It feels like something you could drink during the wintertime, maybe. Like, I don't know. When do you all... Fall, like a fall drink, not winter, fall. This feels like you would drink sometime during the fall. And like for a snack drink. So again, I wouldn't drink a half jug. Or is it a quart jug? I don't know. It feels like it's a half jug. Anyway. And that's not it for today. I will read some of chapter 3. But which means the next, the next thumbnail would be just the new next thumbnail. Yay. We are now I want to say, since there's only 5 chapters to this book, I don't want to say I'm halfway. I'm definitely, I want to say I'm 2/5 there. Is that how you do that? Yeah, 2 out of 5, 2/5. Sorry, 2/5 done. I want to say 1/3 done because it's got 2 chapters done and out of the way. All right, and the mid chapter of chapter 3 would be halfway. I guess, my best guess. I want 2/3 maybe, but it's not 2/3 because there's 5 chapters. Math is hard. Estimate, whatever. I'm stupid. There, that's my answer for you. I'm not smart. I'm not intelligent. Let's see. Let's see how far we can go with this chapter. Not much. we can. Well, let's just start reading and then find out how much, because I don't want to be on here for too long. So let's just continue. The next half year was a marked improvement for craft. Through the dice. The next half year was a marked improvement for Kraft as his contracts began to expand wider and further, bleeding deeper into Hakaj and Basal. Basil. I want to say Basil for some reason. Hakaj and Basal. Even a village or two from the Pluckstrom territories to the north had sent small caravans to seek his quality goods, which was the first time he had interacted with proper halfling society. Lonely as it had must been, Aramal was unwitting kindred spirit was an unwitting kindred spirit to Craft, since he was the only of his kind among the locals. Not that he had quite understand being a dimensional transient, but the similarity was a small comfort. The year was 1745. That's the year for this planet? Damn. The bicentennial bicentennial. Fuck. This one is going to haunt me if I do not get it pronounced. The 200th anniversary of a significant event. Bicentennial. Okay. Bicentennial. The bicentennial for Hakaj, and word spread of the fantastic year-spanning festivals taking place in Madro and the other big cities like Chevelle and Barcella. Supposedly, Tomoloda had plans to celebrate as well, though Mayor Aramal made a point to say it would be more of a week-long celebration than a year-long one for practical reasons. Okay. The amount of trade going in and out of those cities must have been insane to justify a year-long party. Yo. Year-long parties? Take me to one. Kraft didn't mind. While he made a home in Hakaj, the patriotic fervor entrapping everyone else hadn't quite seeped into his bones. He even stayed in when the festivals were in full swing. Sure, he was happy to hear his friends enjoying themselves, especially good old Nerf, who apparently grabbed the dance from Saphir? Is that it? Saphir? I'm assuming. But he found more of satisfaction in toying with his power and testing its abilities on equipment in the shop. His endurance had increased greatly to the point where small tasks were nothing but a drop in the bucket for him, and he better refined his understanding of and he better refined his understanding of the gift. Measurements, ingredients, variants. He learned to see through his power and actually comprehend the things made to a degree that he wouldn't have been able to in his past life. Or maybe he would have been able to if he had actually applied himself. Moral lesson of the day. He set down his current work, a broken sword from the town guard, and frowned. It had already been a year at this rate. Did time blah, 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 blah. Did time pass the same way between worlds? What was his family doing now? What was the world doing? What was the world doing now? What about his friends? All the people he left behind? He leaned out from his desk, looking out to the small lobby of the shop, where sparkles and flashes glittered through the display window. Mage tricks for the kids and party-goers alike. Dorius must be treating everyone to a good show. Good show! Maybe he should close up early tonight, spend some time with his friends here. He looked back at the sword. Well, tell his friends. Okay, what friends? Oh, we're talking about just Nerf and Terf, and that wizard guy, and someone else. There's a few other people I don't know. What's this book talking about? I feel like this book is not. I don't know. It feels like this book is sacrificing a few small niche things for an adventure story. I feel like. I'm just saying, this is how I feel. We could have made this into a slice of life kind of story. I don't know. Maybe this is just me. Is he just talking about just the people he met? But we don't. I kind of want to know more about the people he's met along the way. Come on! I feel like you're holding him back. Mm-hmm. Spends some time with his friends here. He looks back at the sword and the way it glistened, his frazzled hair bouncing back at him in its blade. After all, who knows when something would kill him, or them, or... The bell in his shop rang. Speak of the devils. One of them, no doubt, came to drag him away. Probably death. Bastard was always keen to step in on Kraft's quiet time. Shouldn't you be out with the festivities? Festivities? I can't pronounce words now. Great. Again, I still haven't been able to festivities. Gosh, whatever. Kraft asked, walking out from his workshop, cleaning rag in hand, which he almost when he caught sight of a cherubic face with glowing ruby eyes. Which he almost what? Am I reading this wrong? Kraft asked, walking out from his workshop, cleaning rag in hand, which he almost what? Which he almost when he caught. I'm going to read the entire paragraph before it and then read that sentence again because I feel like I'm delusional. The bell rang in the shop. Speak of the devils, one of them no doubt came to drag him away, probably to earth. Bastard was always keen to step on Kraft's quiet time. Shouldn't you be out with the festivities? Kraft asked, walking out from his workshop, cleaning rag in hand, which he almost something, apparently, which he almost he almost Yoshi'd. There, which he almost Yoshi. He almost was something that's R-rated with the rag. He almost dropped. He almost threw at her. He almost ate, bite, sniffed, licked. What? Which he almost. There's nothing here. I'm reading this right. If I'm reading this right, where? Which he almost. That can't get any clearer. Which he almost. Why did he which he almost? How did he which he almost? What is he which he almost? Walking out from his workshop, cleaning rag in hand, which he almost. How did you do that? How do you which you almost something, but not almost? How do you not? I am failing here to understand this sentence. Which he almost what? What? Who paid to rate this? Did anyone edit this? Did anyone catch this? Am I the only one catching this? I know humans make mistakes, right? I make mistakes a lot, right? I make several mistakes. Maybe I'm not somehow reading this. Maybe God is making me blind from one word that's missing. There's 1, maybe 2, 300 billion words that I'm missing. But it's not describing which he almost. What do you almost do? Almost not have something? Almost spilled? Can you spill a rag? I know this is hurting my. I know it doesn't matter. Like, oh, you fumbled the sentence, but like for some reason it's making me mad that I don't know what you're about to say or what you're trying to say. It's making me mad. I don't know why. You accidentally sentenced. Oh, this is the one. This is the biggest disappointment here. Forget all of. This is probably just a misprint, and I'm betting. Okay, I'm gonna give you the benefit of a doubt. This, out of all the 100 billion copies or whatever, I don't know how many copies you printed, but I can't read this. I can't read the map. It's a little faded. Like, you can read it, but some of the smaller words I can't read. Just can't. So I'm gonna assume that maybe there's an error here, a printing error here, and that there's probably going to be there's probably a few other typos, maybe. Not a few other typos, a few other words in this book that completely just deleted themselves from existence. So I'm going to give you a benefit of a doubt that maybe that's the publishing company's fault. Maybe when I purchased this, does someone else have a printed version of the book? I would like to know. Is there 172 pages or 173 pages? These are important to know. And do you have hardcover or paperback? I have paperback. Is it just the paperback problem? Do you have hardcover? I don't know. I want to know what was the problem here. Did you just forgot a word completely? Or is this the publishing company's problem? Or however the publishing machine, I don't know. I don't work at a publishing company, so I don't know how that mistake is made. Is it the editor's fault? Someone edited this book, right? Okay, so it's written on the front. Edited by Caden Thaxton. Did they made a mistake? Oh, Wildfire Lego by Anita Sketcher-Zerba. Huh, Lady Enemy Net. Where have I heard that name from? First printing 2022. I'm going to assume that something during the year of 2022 happened. I can type an email to Celtic Phoenix Publications@gmail.com. I could also just send them a normal DM. And ask him a few questions. How do you, I could, It's not a huge problem. Obviously I can just continue to read, but like, it bothers me, only me. Out of all the 100 readers that are probably reading this right now, they probably just read over it and don't bat an eye. They don't bat. They just probably made their own assumptions or whatever. Or maybe they don't have a printing problem or whatever. And it's not a huge deal. It's not a big deal. Do you have any posters of this? It'd be nice to buy a poster. I'm just saying that I'm starting to hang up like some posters on the walls because they're kind of barren on the walls here. Anyways, no. Here I'm going on about roughly a 14-minute rant about how he almost win. Was he cleaning a rag? Did you drop the A? Cleaning A rag in hand? Which he almost... No. That wouldn't make sense either. Cleaning rag in hand, which he almost... There's nothing here. I am reading it 300 times. 3,000 now because I blinked. Scan, computer brain, read fast, right? I'm reading this like several times now, and so like, which he almost when he caught sight of the cherubic face with glowing ruby eyes. I'm gonna move on. I'm going to move on. Or otherwise, I'm going to go insane. I'm probably already am insane because I have this. I already have a transformer here. But insanity would be, wouldn't you not acknowledge the insanity? So I think I'm saying to acknowledge that this is not real character, right? Anyways, and he's not my actual co-host. And Dominic is. So there. Am I insane? I'm just pretending, this playful prop here. Anyways. Can I help you? He asked. Honestly, he was a little taken aback. Over the last few days, almost no one had come into the shop except to pick up orders. And even then, they'd been rushed. No one had come by after the sun began to fall. The woman? She looked only a few years younger than him, blinked at him exquisitively before flinching and offering a half-hearted smile. I don't know. Downy alabaster curls bobbing with the tilt of her head. Yes, actually, I happened to be from out of town, and I broke my knife on the way up here fending off a pack of pulas. Pulas. Sorry, pulas. I heard you were the fastest repair shop in town, and I was wondering if you could repair it for me before I head out in the morning. I'm on my way to Kala to help out some family, and I really can't be delayed. All right. A small dagger was placed on the table, and the blade was more than 11 inches in length and snapped about 3/4 up its length. 3/4. 3/4. Excuse me. Kraft lifted it up and he snapped the tip, tumbling the underside of the metal where it had broken. A small ritual he had made a habit of after figuring out properly and inspecting the materials improved the product's overall quality. That's a rush job. You better be off buying a new one tomorrow morning at Uskar's place. He's still working limited hours, Kraft mused. The girl gripped his hands around the blade's hilt, her eyes watering. Please, this is an heirloom from my father. If I could just replace it, I would not have come asking for a repair. An alarm pinged to the back of Kraft's head, prompting one eyebrow to raise. Okay, price will be big enough to move it further up the up in the queue. Her fingers tightened. Name it. 1 chalice. 5 cinnamon. Half now, half after it's done. Deal, she said, reaching for a surprisingly full coin purse. Another flag rose. But again, he decided not to say anything. For as bright as her appearance made, this girl was shady. Six seen him were slammed on the table. The triangular coins digging into the grain of the wood. I would appreciate it if you didn't. Oh, misread. I would appreciate it if you didn't damage my counter. The girl blinked and flinched, not unlike how she had before. Ah, sorry. Kraft sighed and the triple counted, and Kraft sighed and triple counted the sum before brushing it into the mechanical register he had built into the table. He caught her eyes hooking onto it. Oh, that sounds painful. How do you hook your eyes onto something? Anyways, metaphorical. I understand it's metaphorical. Hyperbolic. No whatever. But it had lasted a moment. Nothing too suspicious about that. People weren't going to be used to seeing one. But speaking of suspiciousness, I'm going to have to end this stream here in a minute. Actually, I might get to a stopping point. Let me finish this milk off. I have a sore throat now. Okay, so I don't know if it's because of the true milk or if it's me, but I have a sore throat now, so yay. No, that's fine. It's probably just me. let me continue reading for a bit, just for a bit long. What's the name on the order? The girl blinked. She really didn't seem all that attentive. Rhine Thendrays. Rhine Thendrays. Pretty name that, he said, marking it down on a nearby piece of parchment. How hard would it be to create a dry erase board and markers? It would be way easier to rearrange his orders. Maybe a chalkboard would be easier? Less noticeable, too. Thank you, she replied, her cheeks aglow among the room's crystal sconces. She leaned over his shoulder, curious eyes peeking into the open door to his workshop. Would the forge be back there? I would assume so, though most blacksmiths don't separate the rooms. Of course, this question. It had been up once twice. It had come up once or twice before, and while the locals weren't keen to pry after, he said he had his methods. Out-of-towners would be pushy with curiosity. Best to tell a white lie. I outsource them from the available forges in town for metalwork, but I do all the work myself. I head out this evening to get this done. It'll be here in the morning, I promise you that. Ryan nodded, cupping her hands to her chest. Thank you so much for this. May Marviata keep your heart pure. Kraft scratched at the corner of his lips. No need to thank me. No need to thank me. I've had more difficult customers, believe me. More of the religious types. There were plenty of those in Hakka, it seemed, but every time they had said something like that, he didn't know what to say back. Is that all you need for tonight? Yes, Moined affirmed. Shall I get out of your way now? When is it? I am misreading this a bunch. When is it you open again? 7, though I'm usually awake by 6, so you can come by then. Very convenient for this world to have the same clock system. as this world. If you know it, if you viewers, current viewers, or not current viewers, or at this point, know what I'm talking about. She opened the door and smiled, which made the warm summer air that spilled through the smell all the sweeter. Okay. Smiled, which means maybe I'm. Okay, anyways, all the sweeter. She opened the door and smiled, which made all the warm summer air that spilled through the air all the sweeter. I will be here promptly again, thank you. And that is where we will end it for now. I haven't enjoyed it. Oh, so far. I'm starting because one, this couch is not. It's not exactly comfortable. It's comfy, but it's not. It's outdated. Couch. Okay. Okay. Anyways, that's a nice read. And I finished the True Moo Blue Milk. So you will not be seeing that thumbnail ever again. Never, ever again. Whew. It is now time for me to go. Before I go, soon my brother will have his stream. Probably later tonight, if not later sometime this year. I don't know. He'll have his stream eventually. We'll get the last bit of his Lego set done before once it's done. We'll get that Lego set done. Another Transformers video is coming around the corner. But yeah, so now to make a thumbnail for chapter 3. Oh, my arms. And so after once we're done with not only chapter 3, but we'll try to be done with the rest of this book. I'm already getting a bend at this end right here. I'm already bending it just by a bit. But that's odd how I'm rereading that sentence again. I hate it. I'm not gonna let it go. I am not gonna let go of that sentence. Again, I'll give it a benefit of the doubt. It's probably a misprint. It probably just did not. It probably another. Well, what's worse than a misprint? It's probably a type or not a typo. Like he did not type in that word, and none of the editors caught it. Well, it's just one editor. But the editor didn't catch on to it. That's another thing. That's interesting. It's either the editor didn't catch it, right? By the looks of it, I'll Google the editor. But yeah, that's interesting. So like, there's other people that worked on this book, edited by Katie Thaxton. Huh. That's interesting. I will look up Caden Thaxton, see on the other works, see how much if there's another work by Caden Thaxton that they've edited. So yeah, see y'all in the next video. In the next live stream video or whatever you'll watch this. See y'all soon. Tip of the hat, y'all. Bye-bye. Oh. Rebel Moon or something. I don't know. Watch that. Watch how terrible that movie is. Yeah. Bye-bye.